Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is in the United States this week, aiming to strengthen American support for Israel, particularly in its ongoing battle against Hamas. Despite his structured plans, Netanyahu's visit is met with significant resistance, both from certain segments of American lawmakers and public protests. Netanyahu's address to Congress today is noteworthy. He becomes the first foreign leader to address a joint meeting of Congress 4 times, surpassing even Winston Churchill. However, not everyone is enthusiastic. Many Democrats and independent Senator Bernie Sanders plan to boycott his speech. The absences of key figures, including Vice President Kamala Harris and Senate President pro tempore Patty Murray, underscore the division. Instead of attending Netanyahu's address, Vice President Harris, who is also the new Democratic frontrunner for the presidency, will be in Indiana giving a speech at a sorority event. Her choice, coupled with previous critical remarks on Israel's actions in Gaza, highlights her stance on foreign policy, potentially distancing herself from Netanyahu's aggressive strategies against Hamas. Among Republican lawmakers, Netanyahu is expected to receive a warm welcome. Nevertheless, the Capitol braces for massive protests. Demonstrators are already vocal, voicing anger over the war and calling for Netanyahu's arrest on alleged war crimes. Speaker Mike Johnson has implemented a strict zero-tolerance policy for disturbances, emphasizing the tradition of allowing free expression. Netanyahu's efforts come during a turbulent political period in the U.S., with President Biden discontinuing his re-election campaign and endorsing Harris, and an assassination attempt on former President Trump. American politics add another layer of complexity to Netanyahu's visit. Both Biden and Harris have scheduled separate meetings with Netanyahu, focusing on the ongoing Gaza conflict and potential ceasefire agreements. The backdrop of Netanyahu's visit is a nearly 9-month warfare with Hamas, which began with an attack on Israel in October. Israel aims to break Hamas's stronghold in Gaza, with substantial support from the U.S. in terms of arms and military aid. Netanyahu also faces growing criticism and the looming threat of arrest warrants from the International Criminal Court, although the U.S. does not recognize the ICC. Interestingly, while some Democrats argue that Republican lawmakers are using Netanyahu's visit to demonstrate loyalty to Israel, Netanyahu has his own domestic audience to address. He aims to project himself as a steadfast leader, despite low popularity and accusations of prolonging the war to escape losing power. Netanyahu's meetings with U.S. leaders also highlight concerns about wider regional conflicts. The U.S. and France seek to quell border fighting between Hezbollah and Israel to prevent a larger war. Discussion will also likely touch on a new China-brokered agreement between Hamas and Fatah, which Israel and the U.S. promptly criticized. In summary, Netanyahu's visit to the U.S. is marked by significant opposition, high-stakes discussions, and considerable political maneuvering. As much as it aims to bolster support, it reveals underlying tensions both within and between the countries involved.